Enemy Intel is brought to you by Rothman Institute at Jefferson, the official orthopedic and healthcare partner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Philadelphia Eagles will face a very confounding and confusing Oakland Raider defense this week. This is a defense in defending the pass that's near the bottom of the NFL in terms of passer rating against. But when you watch them on tape, particularly when you look at their defensive front, they do some good things with a lot of good players. So it's an odd team, and you have to be very careful when it comes to your passing game and pass protection, because they can beat you up front and get to your quarterback. And we're going to look at a couple of plays here that really reflect that, because one thing they do is they move people around with different front looks, and they like to stunt, and they're pretty good at it. So here against the Denver Broncos, they're going to run what we call mirrored ET stunts, meaning the defensive ends, they go first. They're the pickers, and the tackles loop behind them. But to Nico Autry, he just blows up the offensive guard. He's the picker, not the looper. These are the kinds of things the Raiders front can do, and they have a lot of depth along that front, so they rotate in a lot of players. And then what you get is when they line up Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin on the same side, and that is a challenge. And this particular play is the kind of play the Eagles have to be careful about with the left side of their offensive line. Because what you have here is Mack lined up really wide as a defensive tackle, Irvin outside of him in a wide 9. Now what they're going to do here is make it appear to be a TE stunt, where Mack attacks the offensive tackle and Irvin starts to make it appear as if he's looping behind Mack, but he doesn't do that. What he does then is he changes direction and beats Tyron Smith off the edge, hits the arm and the ball as Dak Prescott attempts to throw it, and it's an interception. So they can be really difficult to block up front, both individually with players like Mack and Irvin, and they can also be difficult with their concepts. So this is an interesting defensive front that the Eagles must block and keep Nick Foles secure, so the Eagles' passing game can once again be effective.
All right, Mike, a big challenge for the Eagles' offensive line. The Raiders, they play a lot of games up there, and you got a guy, Khalil Mack, with 10.5 sacks to worry about, too.
Well, not just Khalil Mack. You got Bruce Irvin, and both these guys, they create a lot of problems. And you're right, they'll stunt a lot. They'll do a lot of things, and the Eagles have seen a lot of this. Seattle, they run a stunt here, where they're going to bring this guy here around to the inside. And teams have seen that the Eagles have problems with that, so rest assured the Raiders are going to show you a lot of that with Khalil Mack, with Bruce Irvin, and running a lot of stunts. They'll come from the open-ended side or the tight end side. But watch this. They have problems squaring up, getting this guy, because the looper is going to come around and he's going to come free. And look at Big V. He's a little bit off balance. He's not able to get back to the inside to slow up this guy. So they're having problems handling the stunts. They're zoning it off on this side, so that's done pretty well. But on this man protection on this side, they just don't do a good enough job of passing off and slowing up that rush. They get to Carson Wentz. When other teams see that, they're going to try and do similar things.